Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Conference Carolinas event finals for acrobatics and tumbling. We are here. I'm Miranda Regan. I'm here with Emily Lewis, and we look forward to watching all of these teams this morning who have qualified from the regular season and their highest average in the top 3 teams of the entire conference. Emily, tell us about how this morning's going to go.
Yeah, so with event finals, what we're going to see is the top 3 teams in each heat. So we will see the top 3 teams that qualified during the regular season. The way that they qualified is through their highest average score. So those teams with the highest average will come out and compete, and it'll go back to back, and then we'll name each heat a conference champ.
That is awesome. Well, we will be back in about 5. The National Collegiate Acrobatics and Tumbling Association, Conference Carolinas, and King University promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We are excited to be here today. I'm Miranda Regan, here with Emily Lewis. Emily, how are you doing this morning?
Good. I'm excited for event finals. This is always one of the most exciting parts of the championship weekend. Looks like we have around 8 teams that are going to be competing in different heats today. So you can expect it to be loud in here. You can expect the energy to be high. And it's going to overall be a super fun event.
No, we're super excited. It was a eventful evening yesterday for the semifinal matches. So we're really excited to see what these teams can bring out here today. The field for event finals, individual event finals, is comprised of the top 3 scores from the regular season. In both cases, multiple bids were awarded if 2 or more teams recorded the same qualifying scores. So that was their average.
Right.
So we've taken the average now to allow other teams who were not in the quarterfinals or semifinals to qualify for these event finals. So what we're going to see is our 5-element acro, 6-element acro, 7-element acro, our inversion pyramid, synchronized pyramid, open pyramid. We'll see our 450 salto toss, synchronized toss, open toss, and then for tumbling we will see our duo, trio, and quad pass, as well as our 3 individual passes for aerial, 6-element, and open. First up, we'll see the number 3 seed in the 5-element acro, Lander University, with a 9.95 start value. Strong execution from Lander there. As you can tell, the vibes are high today. The energy is here. It's really fun to watch all of these teams who have competed against each other all season long to compete for an event title.
Yeah, that was a strong start for Lander. We saw a little bit of deviation in that full off where the top went a little bit towards that base on the right side. But then it was followed up with a beautiful extended hand-in-hand that held for way more than 3 seconds.
Yes. I know Coach is really excited about that. They fought hard to get into the semifinals against Belmont Abbey last Tuesday. So they were wanting to come out here and compete strong to hopefully get an individual title. Next up, we're going to have Coker. I believe they have a 10.0 start value here. And then we'll see Limestone will be the top seed in this heat. So at the end of each event or each heat, we will be listing just the winner, right?
Correct.
So we will announce just the winner, and then later on they will post the seeding, how
Correct.
it works. So
all of the scores. And the order of this is you have your lowest seed, so the team that had the lowest average in this heat will go first. The team with the highest average score will go last.
And as a reminder to our fans, we have 5 officials in our championship setting. So with that, it will take a little bit longer. They do take the average from the 2 bases who are the tops, who are looking at the tops, and then 2 bases who are looking at the bases, or 2 officials looking at the bases.
I know we explained that a little bit yesterday, that there's 2 officials looking at the tops and 2 officials looking at the bases, and we kept saying there's 5 judges. That 5th one is looking for any neutral penalties.
Yes, the head official. And here comes Coker with their 10.0 start value. Great job from Coker there. You'll see that same exact 5-element acro later this afternoon as they compete for the conference championship against Limestone University at 5 p.m.
Yeah, strong start for them as well. Saw a little bit of stability issues on that extended hand-in-hand. But that is a very difficult skill to hold as one base and as the top to have that body control. And she did a great job of keeping that up there and keeping it up for the full 3 seconds.
Yes. This is basically a little warm-up for them before this evening.
Yes.
Next, we're going to have Limestone. They also have a 10.0 start value. We have a lot of teams here today. Some teams that we haven't seen this weekend. Lander University. We'll see Wingate. We'll see King. And I believe, Converse as well. So some teams that we have not seen in the semifinals this weekend who are also able to compete for an individual title. And here is Limestone. Beautiful execution there on the difficulty of that 1.5 off in that landing. That's our specialist of the year for Conference Carolinas, Kayla Gambaldo.
Yeah, that was a beautiful 5-element. That 1.5 off is such a difficult skill, a skill that was competed for the first time last season, so a newer skill to the sport, but it's so difficult to make that extra half turn at the end. She did it absolutely beautifully. She had a great landing.
Those catchers were on point, knowing where she was going to land, supporting her. It's a very impressive skill. We saw that last year for the first time from Lander, and they competed that really well as also. So while we wait on the scores, we will only be naming the winner. Next, we will have our 6-element acro And for 6 element acro, we will have Mars Hill, Limestone, and Lander in that same order. Mars Hill competed yesterday against Coker University last night. They put up a great meet. So I know they're looking to execute very well for their 6 element acro. For 6 element acro, Mars Hill is the only one with a 10.0 start values. That will hopefully give them a little edge. Just as a reminder, our 6 element acro is our synchronized heat. So it is very hard to complete or to get that top score of a 10.0. And it looks like we have our winner. With a score of 9.700, Limestone University takes home the 5 element acro title. There's a lot of seniors in this group, so I know that they're very happy to end their career with a win. Okay, next up for our 6 element acro, we'll have Mars Hill University. Zoe Franklin, Carrie Hampson, Leah Whitman, Caitlin Huffman, Nasiri Mond, Carrington Lacey, Ashlyn Saradich, Reese Goldberg. That was Mars Hill University. A little mishap here on one of the elements, but that's all right.
Yeah, and those release skills were there. Doing a 180 turn, looked like both of them were a little bit in the wrong position, so that caused one side.
Yeah.
Yes, a little over rotation, so it caused one side to come down and the other side to have a little bit of a bobble. Unfortunately for them, that they missed that layout off on the left side, so that will be a more significant deduction.
Next up, we're going to have Limestone with a start value of 9.90. This might take a minute for the officials. Emily, when you were coaching through event finals in your years, what were you telling your athletes?
To treat it like a normal meet. A lot of times they put a lot more pressure on them when they know that one heat can determine if you're going to be a conference champ. And so we just try to take it like it's a meet and make sure that we're hitting the skills the way that we would in a normal meet and trying not to put too much pressure on those one skills that they're doing.
I think that's exactly what I would say. And also, have fun. These athletes are cheering for each other. Yes, you're competing, but at the same time, we're all competing very, very difficult skills. You've worked hard all season long. So going out there and having fun was extremely important. When I was coaching, I used to tell my athletes that, of course, we all want to win a title, but at the end of the day, it's really awesome to see the depth of this conference and the amount of skills that each team has.
Yeah.
And they could come out and perform. Also to note that, Coker and Mars Hill competed last night.
Yeah.
Until about 7.
Yes.
So
and then turn around and compete again. Same for our teams that are going to be in the finals tonight. We're going to see them a lot throughout this event, and then they're going to turn around and they're going to compete these skills again. So it is a long weekend, and these athletes have to be so trained and so dedicated to get to this point.
Next up is Limestone. We have Casey Kyer, Kayla, Ansley Fields, Alicia Lefowitz, Destiny McDonald, Anna Waring, Marlena Costanzo, and Avery Keepke. Great execution from the Saints. Casey Kyer and Kayla over there. Coach Sierra was telling us, she's really proud of their leadership as seniors, guiding the way for these younger athletes on their team.
Yeah, and that acro had a lot of difficult skills. We saw those bases push the top up to extension all by themselves and then follow it off with a 360 down to the ground.
It's just minor deductions.
Yeah.
Didn't see anything major, so their timing was pretty good. That's something I know they were wanting to work on from yesterday too, so it was nice to see them go out and compete strong. Next up, we're going to have Lander University. They have a start value of a 9.85. So a lower start value than the other two, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything if they can go out and hit cleanly, and the officials agree with that. So we're excited to see what they have to offer.
Yeah, usually you'll see that in this 6-element acros. We might see some lower start values because it is two groups competing it. So you want to make sure that what you put out there is clean and strong.
You can hear the teams cheering for each other. Limestone was cheering for Lander. For Lander, we're going to see Ashlyn Shively, Elena Eckert, Aaron Raper, Phoenix Woodard, Caden Groom, Jaden Azari, Kaylee Cato, Danielle Crusisto. I was super hyped about that. That great execution, small deductions there. Maybe a little chest down on the landing and the full off on the right side.
Yeah, I was going to say similar, a little bit of lack of height on those full offs, but overall timing looked great. Their landings looked great. And Landers had to make some changes to these heats. They had a significant injury in the quarterfinal meet, so they had to go back and workshop some of these heats to come out and compete strong today. And we can see the support for the athlete that came in for that injury on the sideline.
Great depth in their program to be able to change that. You do have to have a direct replacement when you qualify. So to be able to execute these skills in place of an injured athlete can be very difficult, especially at the end of the season. Next, once we get our scores, we'll talk about 7-element acro. So Wingate will make their debut here for event finals. They have a 10.0 start value. Then we have Limestone University with a 10.0, and then we'll have Lander again with a 10.0. So tight competition here with the same start values. Wingate's worked hard all season as well, especially on these acros, and has improved throughout their season.
They were close to getting into those quarterfinal meet.
And it looks like we have our winner. Commissioner Chris Colvin's out there with a score of 8.525, Limestone University. They were very shocked by that, so I think they're excited. So they take home their second title in the acro event. Alrighty, for Wingate, for 7-element acro, we'll sing Abigail Hinney, Elizabeth Funk, Amanda Stevens, Gabrielle Miller. Amazing execution there from Wingate.
You can see why they qualified for that event. That was really strong. That walk-in, that base took that up above her head before she settled it back to her shoulders.
Very textbook there. That's what every coach wants to see, and I know the officials want to see that as well.
Top had great height in her full off and her layout off. Great
body
position. Yes.
I think they'll be very pleased with their results there. This is a second-year program coming out into a really strong conference and able to compete for their 7-element. Next up, we're going to see Limestone University with a 10.0 start value. We see Casey Kyer, Marlena Costanzo, Janai Brown. This is a senior group out here, and you're going to see 3 athletes. Sometimes you'll see 4. But this is very impressive. And here comes Limestone. Execution again They're very happy with that one.
Yeah, very minimal deductions. We did see 2 steps taken by the base there. One thing in acro is that your bases are not allowed to take steps while your top is up in the air.
Unless it is an intentional step readjustment.
Correct.
So that will be small deductions there. But it's really impressive when you see Casey Kyer there. She is the only base in that. A lot of one-to-one connections, release skills there, pressing to extension.
Yeah, back-to-back release skills. It's really tricky making sure that your hand placement is right on that first one so that you can continue to do the second one.
Exactly. Great height on those pop-arounds as well. This is going to be a tight competition. We're going to see Lander University. They also have a 10.0 start value. You're going to see Elena Eckert, Ashlyn Shively, Madison Owens, and McCaffrey Owens. And here comes Lander. Another great execution. Small little bobble there on that pop around.
Yeah, very minimal deductions again. That was probably the most significant one, was that little bobble. But the inverted position that top had at the end there, we want to see our tops in a straight line when they're in those handstand positions, and hers was pretty good.
Yes, I agree with that. This will be tight, I think, on the scoring.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tight heat here.
They all had 10.0 start values. While we await that, next up will be the inversion pyramid. We're going to have Coker, Limestone, and Converse will make their first debut in the event finals. Converse actually has the highest average and start value of a 10.0 in our inversion pyramid.
It's another heat that we'll see a little bit differing start values going into it.
Inversion pyramid's probably one of the hardest to get a 10 in as well, since they changed the scoring, so it looks like they're ready to compete that. Really exciting for Wingate to be able to come out here as a second year program and compete as well as they did, looking to take home a title.
I think this is one of the first times that they've made it to event finals.
And it looks like we have our score. Seven-element acro champion with a score of a 9.325. Wingate University. Their first ever conference title. Coaches are crying. I have chills.
I know. I'm so excited for them. Coach Candace Blocker back there jumping up and down. So deserving. That was a beautiful seven-element acro. And they just took home their first conference championship.
Congratulations to Wingate. That's what this sport is about, and this is what event finals is about, to be able to come out here and take home a title for your team and your university. First up in the inversion pyramid, we're going to see Coker, Lilia Brzezowski, Kaylin Frankavilla, Chloe Hull, Jada Dalton, Riley Dinner, Tessa Grudel, Tanner Belush, Kayla Young, and Anaya Eckelberger. Beautiful handstand position there for Coker. Great execution. They do have the lowest start value. So, Emily, talk through as a coach why they might have chosen that.
Yeah, to have a lower start value, mainly because you know you're going to get less deductions on it than if they tried that 10.0 difficulty. And it pays off. I mean, you saw right there, they're going to get very minimal deductions from that. Beautiful handstand position.
Strong structure there.
Yes. Fluid press down to that pike. Great landing.
That continuity is what they really look at as officials. You know, does it flow all the way to that pike position? I think she did a great controlled press down.
I would agree.
Next up, we're going to see Limestone University with a 9.8 start value. Kayla Gamaldo, who is the top in this. She is also the Specialist of the Year. We also see Morgan Bramble, Alex Long, Janai Brown, Avery Kiepke, Alicia Lefkowitz, Destiny McDonald, Ansley Fields, Anna Waring, and Abby Hinderlight. Great job there. So the difference in their start values from the other group, they had that 360 twist down from that extended position.
Yeah.
I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah, great execution there. Again, minor deductions, maybe a little bit of stability with shaking at the top, but that's expected.
You can see maybe a small deduction on that twist down, maybe some, you know, her toes led a little too far. You want to land in that nice flat position.
But
great
overall,
job.
Great job by Limestone.
And we'll see Converse next. Again, they have the 10.0 start value, highest average of the season. We'll see Nia Jackson, Julia Petz, Hannah Baker, Esha Nigaretti, Janelle Horton, Chloe Cleland, and Hannah Baker. I believe this is the only thing that they qualified for, so they're excited to come out and compete. And that 10.0 start value is probably going to help him out a little bit there.
Yeah, I would think so. That is a super difficult skill with that bottom base being in a bridge. It takes so much trust in your top to hold that handstand position and to not come down.
And your mid-base there, standing freely. There's no one holding her as well. So with a lot of that 1-1-1, which I think is always so impressive. All of these inversion skills are extremely impressive. Going 3 high is amazing to see. So great job from Converse, Limestone, and Coker. Next up will be our synchronized pyramid. We're going to have Coker, Lander, and Limestone. All three, have a 10.0 start value. So this will be a very tight competition as well. And we'll see Coker and Limestone again this evening at 5 p.m. competing for the 2025 Conference Carolinas Championship. Looks like we might have our score here. Inversion pyramid winner with a 9.875, Converse University. I know they're pumped to win that one there.
And like you said, if you can execute that 10.0 start value, it does help.
It helps them out there for sure.
They scored higher than the other 2 pyramids had in start value.
Congratulations, Converse. You're inversion pyramid champions. And for synchronized pyramid from Coker, we're going to see Hannah Helms, Amber Garcia, Tessa Grudel, Chloe Hull, Ella Sensalsi, Lilia Brzezowski, Kaylin Francavilla, and Naya Eckelberger, Kayla Young, and Alexa Baggett. Great job from the Cobras there.
Timing looked great. The twist off at the end, the landings were great.
Great extension in their straddle positions.
Yeah, there's going to be very minimal deductions on that.
This is always the most competitive heat, I think, because a lot of us do that bridge pyramid. I know when I was coaching, we actually had to do it twice because we had a tying score to win it. So it was actually a lot of fun. We couldn't believe that it happened, that we had a tie there.
Yeah, that is something to point out, is that if there is a tie in the scores, those teams have to go out and compete that skill again to break that tie.
Which is a lot of fun and a lot of pressure.
Yes.
All right, next we're going to see Lander, Alana Eckert, Kaden Groom, Kaylee Cato, Avery Marquise, Phoenix Woodard, Riley Walters, Aaron Raper, Ashlyn Shively, Zaria Walker, Madison Owens. They also have a 10.0 start value. I believe you're going to see the same pyramid. And here comes Lander. Great stability there, great execution.
Yeah, another great pyramid. It's the same pyramid that we saw from Coker, and both teams executed it really well. That has to be really difficult with Lander. Their pyramids are different heights just because of the heights of the athlete, and yet those dismounts were still perfectly in sync.
I thought the dismounts were great. So what you just saw was that 270 up, and the straddle position at 360 released down to the ground. So again, the release makes it a little more difficult to possibly have some deductions there, but great execution from both teams so far. Next up will be limestone. Ansley Kerstubo, Alex Long, Kaylee Welts, Janai Brown, Abby Hinderlight, Marlena Costazo, Morgan Bramble, Destiny McDonald, Avery Keepke, and Alicia Lefkowitz. They also have a 10.0 start value. This is going to come down to the tenths, I think.
Yeah. I think these pyramid heats, they're all going to be super close.
And here comes limestone. They're happy with that pyramid right there.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of a different dismount there where they did the 360 flip off versus the 360 twist off. Again, executed well.
Minor deduction that I might see, we've seen all three now. I think their straddles might not be as high. That's just something to look for. So the officials are looking for that above 90 degree, kind of that hyperextended straddle position. Their dismount was great, all the way to the ground again. Hard dismount.
Yes.
This is going to come down to the tenths, I think. Next, we're going to have our open pyramid. In our open pyramid, we're going to have Mars Hill. We're going to have Wingate again. And we're going to have limestone. All with a 10.0 start value. And it looks like we have our score. And our synchronized pyramid with a score of 9.375. Limestone University taking home their third title today.
Sounds like they have a lot of fans here today.
So the rest of the team that's not in any of these events are behind us, cheering for their team. So we're back there, which you could probably see a crowd behind us. Alrighty, for our open pyramid from Mars Hill with a 10.0 start value, Carrie Hampson, Leo Whitman, Jocelyn Wint, Zoe Franklin, Carrington Lacey, and Caitlin Huffman. Great job from Mars Hill there. We saw this pyramid yesterday, executed very well.
I would
very
agree.
Consistent.
They are very consistent. Our top there was Zoe Franklin, who made first team all conference.
Coaches are happy.
Yeah, I would say, again, very minimal deductions with that. And that is
yesterday
a hard
they got
pyramid.
a high score.
Yeah.
So I think they're expecting that same thing. Again, different pyramid than we've seen today. Emily, talk through what that pyramid was.
Yeah, so that one we saw a one-man pyramid where she takes that top from shoulder level, pushes her up to extension all by herself, which is extremely high up in the air. Takes a lot of strength and control to be able to do that skill, and also a lot of trust from the top and the base to control that skill at the top.
A lot of strong bases under there. Mid did a great job at controlling her top. And then the catchers on the way down. Good catch.
Yeah.
Coming from that high can be very difficult if everyone doesn't work together. Next up will be Wingate. Abigail Hinney, Bella Crepis, Helen Molina, and Gabriella Miller. Beautiful execution there.
Another great showing.
Celebration.
Her straddle position is textbook. That is what you want to see in a straddle. Her legs are well over parallel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, incredible job from that top, number 15.
And the control on the twist down.
So they selected to have it be controlled by being connected the entire time. So they didn't have that release that we've seen previously in the synchronized pyramid, which, again, less deductions.
Yeah.
Great job on them. It's still a 10.0 start value.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like it's the same start value whether they release or not. So that is up to the team and the coach to decide what their team is better at, what's going to look cleaner for them.
I think
I think that was a great decision by Wingate to keep that connected.
Good, and then we're going to see limestone again. Casey Kyer, Marlena Costanzo, Dusty McDonald, Abby Hinderlight, Avery Keepke, and Janai Brown. They also have a 10.0 start value. A lot of seniors in this group as well. And here comes limestone. Good job there from the Saints.
Yeah, so seeing another one-man pyramid. There was a little bit of a bobble at the top there, a little bit of a body check, but great job saving that.
Yes.
Dismount looked great.
The top made it look like nothing was going on.
Yes, yeah. I think
Again,
that's one thing about limestone is they always are calm, and even if there are mistakes, they're able to fix them quickly and not create extra deductions from it.
Very poised.
Yes. You can tell that this is a mature team with a lot of seniors, a lot of upperclassmen that have been here and done this time and time again.
While we await our scores, we will go into the toss event. For toss, we have the 450 salto toss, we have the synchronized toss, and the open toss. 450 salto, Emily, talk through what that means to our fans.
Yes, so that means that our tops have to compete a 450 flip. So all of our front skills that we see, those do not qualify because the top is not going 450 degrees in that flip. So we will see a lot of back doubles, some Arabians, different things like that, where they have to make it the full 450 degrees.
And it looks like we have our score for the open pyramid. With a score of a 9.925. Wingate University winning their second event title today. They came out here, they must have practiced hard, ready to win it. Congratulations.
Yeah, with an extremely high score. They only got .075 off of that.
And it was beautiful.
It was.
Congratulations to Wingate. I apologize. We are going to do a 15-minute halftime, and we will be right back with our toss and tumbling events. And welcome back from halftime. We have our last teams warming up their tumbling, and we will move to our toss event. So far we've had a great turnout from all the teams. Great execution. Limestone has 3 titles, Wingate has 2, and Converse has 1. So a good turnout for scores as well. I think all teams are competing to their capabilities.
Yeah, I would agree. Going into this toss event is probably where we're going to see different start values again. There are several different tosses that can be competed, and you really got to play to your team's strength, what your tops are capable of. And so we're going to see several different skills going into this event.
For the first up is Mars Hill University with a 9.9 start value, 450 salto toss. Sasha Galinci, Ashlyn Saradich, Carrington Lacey, Leah Whitman, and Caitlin Huffman. Beautiful double full toss there.
We saw that toss yesterday, and it was beautiful then. It's beautiful now. The height on that toss, the body position from the top.
Legs together, toes pointed.
Yeah.
The amplitude from the bases and the top. That's very textbook.
Yeah.
The catch.
Yeah, catch was great. We saw a little bit of movement on the catch, but that's a very minimal deduction.
They're pretty excited about that one. You're going to see this same toss from the other 2 teams as well. We'll have Lander and Limestone. It's exciting to see this 450 salto having the same high start value of a 9.9 and that double full toss throughout the conference. This is not an easy skill, especially to stay in one spot, have the bases catch tight, top doing what they need to do in the air.
Very difficult skill to train as well. A lot of times we'll see some veteran tops competing it.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come into the sport, they may have never topped in a toss before, and then to teach them how to flip and spin twice, it's difficult.
And we have Lander, Ashlyn Shively, Brianna Philcox, Madison Owens, Casey Sutherland, Riley Walters, Kaylee Cato, Kaden Groom, McCaffrey Owens, Elena Eckert, and Avery Marquis. I apologize. There was an error on our sheet. That was a 9.4 start value.
Yeah, so we saw that single full, a little bit different than what we just saw from Mars Hill. A little lower start value because she's only doing one twist, whereas Mars Hill was doing 2 twists in the air. I think that was executed
very cleanly.
Yes.
Height of the skill, maybe a minor pike before the catch. They want the tops to be in that tight hollow body position all the way through to the cradle. We're going to have Limestone next. We're going to have Kayla Gamaldo, Casey Kyer, Alex Long, Anna Waring, and Janai Brown.
One of the great things that we see in event finals is all the teams cheering for each other. We see great sportsmanship out on the mat today.
And just as a reminder, tonight, the championship meet against Coker and Limestone will be at 5 p.m. Great competition this weekend. A lot of incredible talent from these teams. And a huge shout out to Conference Carolinas for giving us this championship postseason play, as a lot of teams in the NCATA don't necessarily have this opportunity. Just awaiting those scores. And for Limestone, with a 9.9. We're really excited with that toss there.
Yeah, another great toss. We saw that back double again. Again, minor deductions. The cradle position was a little bit over-rotated, a little bit pike. But the bases had a great catch.
Oh, agreed. And I think she was really surprised with that. I'm not sure. Did they compete that yesterday?
I'm not sure either.
I don't think that they did, but great job from them to be able to come out here and compete. While we wait on those scores, let's talk about the synchronized toss. A little lower start values, but it's the cleanliness, and you're going to have 2 groups doing the same skills. Emily, talk through maybe some coaches' strategies on this.
Yeah, so with the synchronized toss, as you were saying, we have to have 2 groups that are identical. So a lot of the strategy going into this is, do you have 2 groups, number one, that can do similar tosses? Are those groups so in sync that they can do the skills at the same time, do each movement of that skill at the same time? And so we'll see a little bit lower start values, because usually you might have one group that can do the high start value, but you may not have the second group that can. Or it may just be cleaner to do the lower start value with 2 groups.
Exactly. And it looks like we have our scores for the 450 salto toss. With a score of a 9.525, Mars Hill University. Great effort from them. Beautiful skills. They're taking home an event title.
Yeah, you can hear the gym just there erupt, not only with their team, but other teams cheering them on. That was a beautiful toss, very well deserved.
And we will move on to our synchronized toss. First up, we're going to have Coker, Anna Kate Barrier, Bailey Green, Chloe Hull, Anaya Eckelberger, Kaylin Francavilla, Olivia Sisson, Tessa Grudel, Riley Denner, Jada Dalton, and Micah Cunningham with a 9.40 start value. A great full toss there. Minimal deductions. Emily, talk through what you saw.
Yeah, I didn't see very many deductions. Maybe a little deviation on that left side. Just going a little bit to the left. I thought they did better in this than they did yesterday.
Agreed.
During the meet. You can tell that they cleaned it up a little bit. The tops had tight body positions.
High, tight catches.
Yes.
Thought their body positions were good going into the cradle. I think one of the hardest things as a top is to reach the peak of the height before you flip and twist. So great job from those tops.
Yeah, it's natural to want to get yourself over as quickly as possible. But you have to teach your athletes that it's in their best interest to wait until the top before they start pulling that skill.
Next up is going to be Lander. They also have a 9.40 start value. And
looks like we're going to see the same skill again.
I believe so. Ashlyn Shively, sorry. Rihanna Philcox, Madison Owens, Casey Sutherland, Riley Walters, Kaylee Cato, Kaden Groom, McCaffrey Owens, Elena Eckert, and Avery Markey. Great job from the Bearcats there. Height was pretty good.
Yeah.
Little pikey on the way through, I would say.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It looked like they had great synchronization there. Just a little bit of a pike through into those cradles at the end.
Pretty strong catches. It's another thing to note when they're tossing extremely high like that. It's important for the bases to have a strong core, work together to have a strong catch there.
Yeah, and as we talked earlier in acros, how our bases, it's a deduction if they take a step. It's the same in tosses. So when they catch, they have to keep their feet planted exactly where they are.
Next up, we're going to see Limestone. Limestone actually has the 9.0 start value, so a layout.
Yes.
Lower start value, but a lot cleaner. So they are the #1 seed for this heat. You're going to see Kayla Gamaldo, Casey Kyer, Alex Long, Anna Waring, Janai Brown, Marlena Costanzo, Destiny McDonald, Abby Hinderlight, Avery Kiepke, and Alicia Lefkowitz. Tight body positions there. Emily, talk through the angles.
Yeah, so with some of the tosses, you have to do a certain angle. Like our Arabian tosses, you have to do from the side. If there's a kick in the toss, you have to angle it or do it from the side. But other than that, it's up to the coach's discretion on what angle they want to compete the toss at. So for Limestone, it looked like they wanted to show off their straight body positions in that layout. So they angled them a little bit so you could really see the laid out position in that toss.
Which was smart on their part there. Great coaching call.
I think they'll have little deductions, maybe a little lack of synchronization coming into the cradle.
Again, this is any of the synchronized heats that we have is always very difficult. But that's the part of our sport. It's the team sport. Make sure that everybody's on the same page, doing the same skills at the same time. While we await our scores, let's talk about the open toss. We have Mars Hill, Coker, and Lander competing in the open toss. Mars Hill's made a lot of progress here. They're coming out strong in the toss heats.
Yeah, I know she talked about her acro event being her strength, but their tosses, that height is unparalleled.
Yes.
So, I mean, I would say personally that's definitely up there with their strength.
They were able to make close the gap yesterday in that meet against Coker with some of their tosses and acros as well.
Mm-hmm.
So props to Coach Olivia, who was also named Conference Carolina's Coach of the Year.
We're just waiting on the scores from the synchronized toss.
My guess is it's coming down to the tenths. Everyone executed that very well.
Yeah, event finals is always tight scoring because you have the best of the best in each heat competing, so it can come down to the tenths.
Commissioner Colvin sitting back there waiting. I wonder if this one's going to be a tie. Maybe they're looking at that.
That would be fun. This next heat, the open toss, it looks like we're going to have different start values as well. A little bit of what we talked about yesterday is whether you put your highest start value in that first toss or the last toss, and it looks like some of them went with the last toss here.
And it looks like we do have our champion for the synchronized toss. With a score of an 8.60, Limestone University. Congratulations to Limestone. That lower start value helped them out. It was very nice and clean.
You could see the shock on their faces. Some of their athletes
were like,
were
whoa,
getting a
what's
sip
happening?
of water and had to come running over from the sideline.
Congratulations to the Saints. First up in the open toss, we're going to have Mars Hill, Zoe Franklin, Bobby Russell, Jocelyn Wint, Carrie Hampson, Reese Goldberg. A little bit different toss than we've seen.
Yeah. So we saw that kick full there. Again, when they kick, they have to angle it or they have to put it to the side so that the officials can see that kick position. Looked like we had a little bit of a deviation on that. She went a little bit over the back base, but they had a great recovery. We're able to still have a tight, nice catch.
Once again, their height is just unparalleled to everyone else. It's incredible. The only thing that I saw there, too, with that height was probably that pike through.
Right.
Getting into the cradle position there. Again, lower start value than you're going to see. Next up will be Coker, Olivia Sisson, Tessa Goodall, Riley Dinner, Jada Dalton, and Micah Cunningham.
I believe this is going to be their back double toss that they competed yesterday. And they made the strategic decision to put it in their third heat versus their first heat.
We kind of talked about this yesterday. Sometimes people will do that due to whatever they have to do in that synchronized heat.
Yeah.
Impressive that she was able to make it around right there. Looked like her foot might have slipped off from one of the bases.
It was
strong double toss.
Yeah, that led to a little bit of lack of height and that skill where she had to get her feet through quickly to make it to that cradle position. Very impressive by the bases to still have a tight, nice catch with that.
It's a lot of trust, being able to trust that your top's going to be able to make it through regardless. I think Olivia Sisson did a great job there.
Next up, we have Lander. They'll be competing a different toss, so they'll be competing that Arabian salto with a double twist in it.
Very difficult skill. A lot of direction change for them during this toss. Still has a 9.9 start value, which is the same as that double full from Coker. We're going to see Ashlyn Shively, Rihanna Philcox, Madison Owens, Casey Sutherland, and Riley Walters.
And as we said before, this toss has to be competed while facing the side so that the officials can see that Arabian skill.
And here comes Lander. Very difficult toss there. As you saw, she had that Arabian where she hits the back wall. She tucks through and to pull all the way through with that double twist. Very impressive. A little bit of traveling. Just a little bit back on that. But overall, the bases did a great job on that catch. Minimal movement.
A very difficult skill. Performed well. Like you said, there was a little bit of deviation. Again, minor deduction.
Great job from the Bearcats. It's not a skill you see often, but we love to see it. After we receive our scores on this, we're going to be moving on to the tumbling event. This will be the last event for event finals. Following this, we are going to leave our mics open and let the PA take over for our award ceremony. Yep. So we'll be representing all of our seniors, all of the first team all conference and second team all conference, coach of the year, and the athletes of the year. Looks like we do have our scores in. And for your open toss, champion with a score of an 8.875, Lander University.
taking home their first title of the day.
Congrats to the Bearcats.
They did have that higher start value, which helped them out.
Congrats to the Bearcats there. Very well deserved. We're going to move on to our duo tumbling pass. First, we're going to see Lander, then we're going to see Coker, and then we'll see Limestone. Again, variances in start values here. It will be two athletes competing the same skills that were set to a start value predetermined. Mm-hmm. And again, just as a reminder to our fans, these are the top 3 highest averages throughout the entire regular season. For the 9.25 start value, we have Phoenix Woodard and Jaden Azari. Great skills there. Emily, talk through what we just saw.
Yeah, that was a great pass by Lander. The synchronization was great. We had the whip, which with those whips, we don't want to see them lose power with them. We want them to be treated similar to a back handspring where the athlete gains power throughout the pass. Looked like they did that. They had plenty of power at the end here, which caused a little uncontrolled step. That's a very minor deduction. And as a coach, I would rather have that, have too much power coming out of a skill than not enough.
A little bit of over-rotation, I would say, and under-rotation, either or on both of them there. But great job. So that ending with a 1.5 is a blind landing as you're landing forward. And you are allotted that controlled step, so that is not a deduction.
Correct.
You declare that as coaches prior. So if you declare a stick, you have to stick. If you declare that controlled step, then you do have to compete that successfully.
Yes.
Next up for Coker, we saw this yesterday. It was beautiful. We're going to see Anna Kate Barrier and Olivia Sisson with a 9.55 start value. 2 little tops coming out. She was unable to finish that pass due to a little deviation there. She didn't want to run into her partner. But great job overall. So they will have to revalue that part of the pass that she didn't complete. But other than that, I think Olivia's was great.
Yeah. I think she just had a little mishap with that step out, causing her to go a little bit crooked and looked like she was going to run into her teammate. And so
smart call on her part.
Smart call to finish the pass in the back handspring. And you saw Olivia look at her and say, it's okay, it's okay. And they know they have to compete that later on today. So right now the main thing is just keeping their confidence up and being there for your teammates when things happen.
Exactly. And like Emily said, they do have to compete that later today. So let's make sure that they're all healthy, not injured, be able to compete that. Next up in our duo tumbling, from Limestone is Casey Kyer and Kayla Gamaldo. Casey Kyer, Athlete of the Year for Conference Carolinas, and Kayla Gamaldo is our Specialist of the Year. You will hear their names. I'm having trouble talking this morning. You will hear their names a lot later for their championship meet against Coker. I was talking to Coach Sierra, and she talked about these two being great leaders on her team. And
yeah, you can see these two. They're a dynamic duo. Both of them great at what they do. We have Casey, who mainly bases and tumbles. We have Kayla, who tops and tumbles.
incredible strength from both of them. They have a start value of a 9.75. Strong pass. A little bit of lack of sync in the second whip. But great landings. They got back on together.
One thing to note in tumbling is that the officials can take lack of synchronization for each skill that is not synchronized, not just one time for the whole pass. So we'll see a little bit of that in their whips, but both of them have great form. Both of them had great landings.
Mm-hmm. Technique is really important in tumbling, and that's what the officials are looking for. The height of the skill, the continuity. You want to make sure that the pass flows. You want that end skill, whichever that is, to be the highest so that you can show off the amplitude of the pass.
They did have a little bit of a higher start value than the other two teams, which will help them out, especially because they were able to execute it well.
And you will see those two later today. After the duo pass, we will come up next to the trio pass. King University will make their first debut today. Belmont Abbey and Limestone. All with a comparable score of an 8.75.
Yes.
This is very common in our trio and our quad to have the same exact start values.
One thing to note with the start values this season is the scoring committee did reevaluate tumbling event and those start values. So you might see little lower start values, especially in this trio pass, for the similar skill that they competed last season. But that's just because sport's growing and changes were made over the year.
And our duo pass champions from Limestone University with a score of an 8.750. Very well deserved for the pair. And for the trio pass, up first is King University, Mackenzie Templeman, Kenzie Storer, and Caroline Etter.
Great pass by King there.
Great synchronization.
Yes.
You're going to have a little bit of lack of height maybe on that far side. Little squatted landing.
Yeah, little squatted landing.
But great job from them. It's their first time competing today.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see them a couple more times in the tumbling event. Next up will be Belmont Abbey. Same exact start value, same skills. Gonna have Megan Henry, Deanna Woolard, and Madison Quinlan.
Yeah, we'll see Deanna Woolard, who for the first time is first team all-conference. You have Maddie Quinlan, who is second team all-conference. And then Megan Henry, who is a new freshman stepping into this role.
And Coach Emily's former athletes here. It's the first time being on this side of the mat.
Yeah, I feel just as nervous.
I do know that feeling. And here comes Belmont Abbey. Beautiful pass there from Belmont Abbey. Timing was perfect. Technique was great. Landings controlled. I personally didn't see too much there.
Yeah, very minimal deductions from them. Step outs afterwards were controlled. It looked like all the athletes landed in the correct upright position. Synchronization was great.
Technique looked pretty textbook to me, so I think that's a great score they should be looking forward to. Next up will be Limestone, same exact skill. Oh, yeah, there we go. Same skill. You're going to see Jade Gerard, Kylan Hansen, and Avery Kipke. And here comes Limestone. Another solid pass from Limestone.
That one, I think, is going to be really
That's
tight.
really tight. Absolutely.
Again, timing was good. Height was good.
Technique. Spot on controlled steps.
Yeah, I think this is going to...
Oh, this is going to be really close.
This is going to be a close one.
This is what it's all about, though. You know, you want to come out and do your best.
Yeah.
Every team, you want to do their best, and especially in event finals. Maybe Belmont Abbey can come out with a win with this one. Maybe Limestone, maybe King. I don't know.
Yeah, all three teams competed that really well. I feel like it's definitely difficult for the officials when the same skills are being competed as well. We have the same start value.
It's going to come down to the tenths, you know, legs together, feet together.
Yeah.
Controlled landings. While we await those scores. Next will be our quad tumbling pass. We'll have Limestone, King, and Belmont Abbey. Belmont Abbey and King have scored pretty consistently, it seems, in tumbling, so it has allowed them to become into our event finalists.
Yeah, we're going to see the same three teams again in our next heat.
And it looks like we do have our winner. And for our trio pass, just waiting on the announcer here. With a score of a 7.975, Belmont Abbey College taking home their first title today. Beautiful passes from both teams.
Yeah, really proud of those two seniors. Deanna Woolard is a fifth-year senior. And I know they're excited to take that one home after a long season.
Very well deserved. Congrats to Belmont Abbey. Alrighty, Limestone will be up first in the quad pass. Once again, the same exact start values, same skill sets. For Limestone, we're going to see Abby Shiflett, Alex Long, Sanaya Brown, Newberry, Anna Waring. Great round off back handspring pulls from Limestone. this one, again, is going to come down to the 10th as all the teams are competing the same exact skills.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we might see a little bit of variance with the back handspring being in there, and we talked a little bit about that yesterday being a preference of the athletes and the coach. I know for me as a coach, I wanted to take out that skill so you couldn't receive deductions from that skill.
Less skills to deduct from.
Yeah.
So same start values. I believe Belmont Abbey does do that. From King here, you're going to see a round off back handspring full. Same thing you just saw from Limestone with an 8.0 start value. Bridget Sweeney, Alexa Matthews, Carrington Coffey, and Brooklyn Arant. My former athletes.
I was about to say, you're former athletes now.
It's good to see them out here competing.
Yeah, King is strong in their tumbling. They have been all season long, and they have been for years. They have a lot of strong tumblers on this team.
We have 2 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore. Another great pass from King there. Small deductions that you'll see. It's definitely timing, synchronization. Thought their technique was pretty good.
That's what I was going to say. Their form, their technique looked really good. A lot of times, back handsprings, it's hard to keep the athlete's feet together in it. All of them looked like they did a great job with that.
Definitely the smaller deductions that you'll see is that, and their feet together in the handspring, keeping up the amplitude, the continuity of the pass. And Belmont Abbey had the highest average, so they will be going last. You'll see Tia Fluellen, Madison Quinlan, Audra Kaiser, and Sarah Brady.
And so it looks like we're going to see Maddie Quinlan again. She just competed in the trio pass. Normally in a regular meet, that would be a crossover deduction, but here in event finals, you can put different athletes in multiple passes and it not be a deduction.
And that's probably because she competed it throughout the year at some point.
Yes.
So she was able to qualify in both heats.
I believe she swapped back and forth between the trio and quad.
And here comes Belmont Abbey. Great synchronization there. Again, we talked about the variances of the skills there. Less skills, less deductions, hopefully. And
another great pass.
That synchronization was on. Great technique.
Yeah, one of the things that we look for in these tumbling passes is the landing. You don't want to be piked. You want to be in a straight body position. You want your chest to be looking towards the wall, not towards the ground. I think every single team so far has demonstrated that. That's usually one of the common deductions that we'll see in tumbling. But each team has competed that extremely well.
It's a skill that you're going to see commonly in that quad pass due to the fact that there are 4 athletes doing difficult skills. While we wait on those scores, let's talk about our individual passes. We have the aerial tumbling, we have 6 element, and the open tumbling pass. We'll be able to showcase individual skills, which helps for your overall score if we were in a regular meet. You'll see some 10.0 passes. You'll see some passes that might not be a 10.0, but will score really well. And it looks like we do have our quad champion. And our champion with a score of a 7.425, Belmont Abbey College, taking home their second straight title.
Those were the only 2 events that they qualified for here, and they capitalized on it. They were making sure they did everything they could to come home with those titles.
Congratulations, Belmont Abbey. First-year head coach Ansley Dempsey there. And for the aerial pass, we have Lander, King, and Limestone who have qualified. First up from Lander, we have Morgan Axiotis with a 9.55 start value. She will be coming from the right corner. Overall, good pass. A lot of strength. So she was supposed to end in that 1.5 skill. Unfortunately, just didn't quite make it around. Good thing she is okay. So they will have to look at that and talk about revaluing possibly that pass. Great skills, though. That front handspring front had a lot of amplitude. So the skills that she did do, I think, had little deductions. So they'll just be revaluing that.
Yeah, they'll probably give her a little bit of under rotation there, and then she will have that fall deduction on the end of that pass.
Let's talk about the aerial pass. Coach, what skills are required in this aerial pass?
Yeah, so in the aerial pass, you have to have 2 non-hand element skills. So for Lander, you saw that front tuck, and then you saw the last skill, the 1.5, were their 2 skills where they didn't have their hands on the ground. And so we'll see that from each of our teams here today.
So it's difficult to have multiple skills without your hands.
Yes.
On this hard floor here.
Looks like next we're going to have King with their 10.0 pass. I know this athlete worked hard to get the 10.0 start value, and that is a huge feat in the tumbling event to have that 10.0. It is not easy. You have so many skills throughout the pass. We'll probably see more than 2 non-hand element skills throughout this pass.
I know Caroline Etter, she's worked extremely hard on this with a 10.0 start value. Way to push through. Again, multiple hand elements there, non-hand elements. It's hard to step out of that, stay on the mat.
Yeah.
So she'll have some deductions there. That Arabian went a little long.
Yeah,
so
I would agree.
She would have to go up on that, but congratulations to her for that 10.0 pass and landing on her feet.
Yeah, hard pass to do. She competed an Arabian into a 1.5, into a full. Very difficult pass with all of those step outs in there too. A lot of change of directions.
And we're going to see Casey Kyer from Limestone. We saw this pass yesterday and it was near perfect. She's worked really hard on this as well. You're going to see a little bit of variation from what Caroline did, but she'll have that front skill in here. She's also named Athlete of the Year.
Yeah, she competed in the national event finals last year for her tumbling. And the first time around it was a tie and she had to go again. Her tumbling is absolutely beautiful.
So waiting the officials to score that last pass. Another reminder tonight at 5 p.m. Tune in for our Conference Carolinas championship meet against Coker and Limestone, our number 1 and 2 seeds, battling it out for another championship.
Yeah, this is one of the only years that the number 1 and 2 seed make it.
Have made it all the way.
Made it all the way, yeah.
Alrighty. And up next will be Limestone, Casey Kyer.
Amazing job there by Casey.
Beautiful pass.
So much control throughout that pass.
A lot of control, a lot of power coming out of that front handspring front. Round off, back handspring 1.5, round off full. That's exactly what she wanted to end her career in event finals. Well, it might not be. She could still qualify. Limestone's fighting to make it all the way to the national tournament. They're sitting at the number 8 seed right now. Top 8 in the nation make it to the NCATA national tournament.
Yeah, they are one of 3 Conference Carolinas teams that are nationally ranked. We had Coker and Lander in there in I believe the 14th and 15th slots. But like Miranda said, it's the top 8 that go to the national tournament.
I think they have 2 more rankings to come out, maybe 1 more. So be on the lookout for that.
It's impressive for these tumblers to keep these skills on the mat. You'll see them running from off the mat, tumbling onto the mat. It is a deduction if they land off the mat or if they step off of the mat. And we're going into our 6th element pass, which means they have to have 6 skills in their pass, which is extremely difficult to fit onto the floor. So we'll see a lot of them start off the floor so that they can at least gain some speed while they're running before they start tumbling.
And it looks like we do have our scores. And the aerial pass champion with a 9.750. Limestone University, Casey Kyer.
Well deserved.
Yes, beautiful pass.
She's a beautiful tumbler.
We will see that skill again later today.
One of the reasons that she's Conference Carolinas Athlete of the Year.
Next up for the 6th element tumbling pass, Wingate's Chloe Parker with a 9.60 start value. A very different skill that you actually don't see a lot in our sport, that full into a handspring. Very difficult. She did an incredible job.
Very difficult to connect those skills, the continuity there to land and immediately go into the back handsprings is very impressive.
Wingate's had an incredible turnout for their event finals.
I think she'll have very minimal deductions, maybe a little bit of bent knees in her first back handspring. I think the continuity was there. We shouldn't see that deduction.
I agree. A little bit of range in our start value. She actually has the highest start value out of the 3 today. Next up will be Limestone University Avery Kiepke with a 9.55 start value. And then Landers Phoenix Woodard will come out with a 9.20 start value. And with that 9.2, she's ranked the highest right now, which shows, perfection over the higher score. But we will see how they do today.
Yeah.
And here's Limestone's Avery Kipke. Beautiful pass. She performed this yesterday. I think this one was better than yesterday. She's so tall and long. She's got those beautiful lines. It's really hard for her to stay on the mat, so I think she actually cuts it short a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It looked like she cut her back handspring short a little bit. I'm thinking she did that to stay on the mat because she definitely still had enough power coming out of that 1.5.
Beautiful height on all the skills. She'll get a little bit of a deduction there for that full being a little pikey just due to her trying to stay on the mat. But great job from Limestone.
Yeah, her 1.5 was beautiful. The step out was textbook.
Next up will be Landers Phoenix Woodard with a 9.20 start value. A different pass than we've seen today. Good landing there. Trying to stay on the mat. Glad she pulled that out. So a different skill than we've seen. So as a reminder, for 6 element, sometimes you'll see that variation due to adding a back handspring to make up those 6 elements in that pass.
Yeah, we saw Lander do that pass throughout the season in their duo heat.
I think this one's going to be close as well.
Yeah. She had a little bit of a short landing there, a little bit of a squat at the end. Looked like she lost a little bit of power coming out of that whip. That is an extremely hard skill as well.
And to keep on the mat.
Yes, there's so
with
many
those
skills.
Handsprings. So while we await that, let's introduce our open tumbling pass. We have Lander, Coker, and Limestone in this. 2 10.0 start values and then 1 9.9. And then we will be done with our event finals. It's been an incredible turnout. I love the variety of winners we have this year. A lot of different skills that we haven't seen, on.
Yeah, that's a great thing about event finals is even if your team doesn't qualify for the tournament or if you get knocked out in those first few rounds, you can still come out here and win an individual event title, which is really exciting for these athletes to be able to showcase their specialty, what they're good at, and come home with a conference title.
Yeah, and it looks like commissioners coming out because we have our scores. With a score of an 8.950, Limestone University. Avery Kipke. And first up, we're going to have in the open pass from Lander, Jaden Irizarry with a 10.0 start value. And that unfortunately happens sometimes. It was great, a lot of power going into that. And she's able to get up and walk it off.
Yeah, it looked like she might have had just too much power. And that second whip was a little high, so going into the next one.
Landed a little short on that.
I'm glad she's okay, though.
Yes. It's a lot of pressure on these athletes, individual passes. I know as a coach, I used to make my athletes do these passes multiple times in under pressure in different environments to make sure that they could focus and be able to do this, complete the skills.
Yeah, it's hard for these athletes who have competed so many times throughout the season.
It's a lot on their bodies.
Yes.
And not to mention, they do these hard skills at the end of every meet. It's one of the last things before team event, and so it's a lot of pressure and your adrenaline's pumping. So much going on. Just a reminder, our championship meet will be tonight at 5 p.m. We will have the number 1 and 2 seed. We'll have number 1 Limestone competing against number 2 Coker. This is their second time meeting up. And we'll move on to Coker Olivia Sisson with a 10.0 start value.
Beautiful pass.
Great job for Olivia Sisson. She struggled with that in warm-ups. And she's the hypey girl. She's always
had no problem there with that pass. That
beautiful.
Was the pass that Coach Lou said she had her competing through a tuck, even though it didn't add to her start value, so that she could build her confidence and make it go through to a full, which made it that 10.0 start value.
It's the first 10.0 start value that Coker has ever had in history. So congrats to Olivia Sisson and the Coker program. It's a beautiful pass. And our last athlete that will compete today in the open tumbling pass from Limestone University will be Kayla Gambaldo with a 9.90 start value. She was also named Conference Carolina Specialist of the Year. Directly after this, we will be signing off and leaving it to the PA for our awards
ceremony.
And here's Kayla.
Great pass there.
Very beautiful.
She didn't lose any power in those whips to compete 3 whips in a row.
And they're looking to have a clean sweep of these individual passes here. Great height in that 1.5.
Yeah.
A lot of power coming out of it, but still a controlled step there. That's what you want to see in those whips, is the continuity. You want to see them, they bound into each other.
Yeah. Want to see them stay consistently in the height. And then we want to see that 1.5 go higher than what her whips were. And she did that incredibly well.
So our award ceremony will be right after they announce the winner of the open pass. And we will announce our all conference winners. our regular season champions, our Coach of the Year, Specialist of the Year, Freshman of the Year, and Athlete of the Year, as well as recognize all of our seniors from our Conference Carolinas programs. Congratulations to all the teams here today competing. It's always a pleasure to be here and supporting all of these athletes.
All right, looks like we have our winner of the open pass.
And with a score of a 9.650, Limestone University, a clean sweep of all the individual passes.
Definitely one of the things that their program is great at.
They have 8 overall individual titles today.
And we'll see all of them again later in our championship meet at 5 p.m.
Congratulations to all the teams. This is Miranda Regan with Emily Lewis, and we will see you at 5 p.m.